This is the vehicle Officer Sutherland was driving at the time. He had just made the switch because this has a working dash camera. He transferred everything from his squad car into this one, but he forgot his tourniquet kit. Luckily, there was an Oklahoma County Sheriff's deputy just a mile away. Welcome to the empty hallways and the freshly cleaned lockers of Minco High School. See, school is not in session this week. That's because nearly a quarter of the student population is sick. We're in Guthrie, where the fire department needs a little help. Frankly, they've been busier than normal, fighting grass fire after grass fire, and their drinking supply has been disappearing.
Okay, what did you come here to find out?
All kinds of stuff. What would you say to someone in Norman, Oklahoma, if you were describing the town of Muleshoe?
Small country town, 5,000, and we're agriculture mainly.
Small, dry, but it's not as dry as it used to be.
If the football team does good, the community will prosper. And you'd think that's kind of silly, but it will work that way in the small towns in this area.
This puts us on the map in the sporting world.
We can say, well, we're from Muleshoe, we know Lincoln Riley. You know, my 15 minutes of fame is I taught this kid.
Oh, it means everything to this town.
Little old Muleshoe, yeah. You know, it's kind of made us nationally known. Muleshoe, really?
374 miles from Norman, Oklahoma, across I-40 West, you'll find the small, simple town of Muleshoe, Texas. A community beaming with Muleshoe pride, and pride for one of their own, OU head coach Lincoln Riley.
That didn't surprise me, Lincoln becoming the head coach, but I assumed it'd be 3 or 4 years later. I didn't think about Bob retiring at that time.
That thing buzzed me. I was sitting here and it went, I was at the house and I looked up thinking, Riley has been what?
My cell phone rang, and which is very unusual on the golf course. And it was my wife, and she says, guess what? And I said, what? Said, Lincoln is the new head coach at Oklahoma. I said, honey, I'm sure you've got that confused.
When he played, he was a smart player. He was probably smarter than he was athletically talented.
At third down, back to pass is Riley. Has a man open, fires, caught. He's back to pass, has time, fires, and it's going to be caught.
In 2000, Lincoln Riley, then a junior quarterback, led the Muleshoe Mules to the 3A state semifinals. Longtime Sooners fan Bob Graves, originally from Hollis, Oklahoma, was the voice of the Mules for 30 years and called all of Lincoln's games in high school.
He was a good football player, but he was good in basketball, and if I remember right, he ran the hurdles and track, so he was an all-around athlete. From what I can understand, Coach Wood noticed him in junior high, and he said, We've got to keep this boy around.
Coach David Wood is Riley's former head football coach and entering his 23rd season with the Mules. What was he like as a player?
Brilliant. One of those guys he's another coach on the field, you know, so when he studies film, he doesn't have to study it very long. He remembers everything. He could have been anything he wanted to be. When he came through high school here, he was just top of the list in every class, you know, top ranked.
Alice Lyles is Riley's former AP English teacher his junior year of high school. And even back then, she says he had a way with words.
He wrote beautifully. His math teacher, Mrs. Connor, I've heard her say that she would show the kids how to use one approach to a particular problem, and he'd come up with a totally different approach, which was obviously correct and right, but he got it and the other kids didn't have a clue. Here's a kid who could have done anything in the world he wanted, and he chose football. And that's fine, but you know, I guess we expected him to go off and cure cancer or something, I don't know.
Whether Riley chose football or football chose him, the match is just right. But as big as his name's gotten since he arrived in Norman back in 2015, he's never forgotten his roots. And to this town, this community, these people, he's still just Lincoln.
He's just a good guy that grew up in Muleshoe, Texas. And I think for other people in the community and for kids growing up, they see that, you know, anything is possible.
So you think with Lincoln being the head coach, you think a lot of this town will convert to the crimson and cream?
I don't think. I know they will, and I think they probably already have.
What is your prediction for this Oklahoma team in Lincoln Riley's first season? What do you think?
I don't know. I hadn't looked at the schedule.
Well, they got him picked to win the conference.
Lincoln may pull a rabbit out of his hat too against Ohio. So
You never
he's
know.
never gonna nail.
What if he wins
He's
that
not
game?
no dummy.
If he wins the Ohio State game, he'll lose him quick. He'll be governor of Oklahoma.
A lot of players go on to college that we have here, and some make it, some don't. Lincoln made it in a different way through the coaching ranks. Yeah, I'm very proud. We all are around here of Lincoln. I just hope it gives me a sideline pass one of these days.
And being a barber with my personality and attitude is great for what I am, you know, and I love it.
If you've ever met Scissorhands, you'll quickly find out that his infectious personality makes it impossible not to have fun when you're around him.
And we're live, man. Come on, man. It don't get no better.
Rufus, what's up, man?
Are you always in a good mood?
I don't know why you wouldn't be in a great mood. If you wake up, you should always be in a great mood because, like, the Lord don't wake up everybody.
Is the owner of Fading Up Barbershop on May Ave in Oklahoma City.
We're not friends, we're not co-workers, it's a brotherhood.
Little P, man, I seen that ice on your head, man.
His voice carries out throughout the room that you can feel it.
My social media, I'm popping, you know what I'm saying?
Scissorhands' team is 15 barbers deep. He's of the belief that diverse teamwork will make the dream work.
When you look in the barbershop, you see white, you see black, you see Mexican. You know, it's no color. You know what I'm saying? It's like a big pot of gumbo.
We like to call him the neighborhood mayor. Yeah, he's one of a kind.
Everybody in here cool no matter race, age, like everybody, it's a respect level, but it's still, it's like a man cave.
Having a bad day, you come in here, you know, you kind of get a little spark.
Sis is older than us, but he can relate to so many subjects on our level. Plus give us the knowledge from the past.
I'm not trying to make them just good barbers. I'm trying to make them good men as well, too.
He's created a vibe where barbers are like brothers and clients are like family. And there's a reason why they all continue to come back.
He was following me in high school, coming to my games, just my barber. What barber does that? He's kind of like the P. Diddy of our city. And that's not to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. In the camera.
His personality, he go from the barber thing, he's always plugging people.
I'll make some noise from homegirl Sammy, y'all. Come on.
Don't you know I've been around with my head hanging down.
He's just really genuine and awesome, and I think he's very cool.
No wonder who's loving you.
We do see someone being rescued right now. Jordan Lucero was on the phone. Jordan.
Hey, yeah, we're seeing they're bringing someone out on a stretcher right now out of that house that firefighters kept working on right now. This is the only house we saw fire crews working on. It is the one by far that has the worst damage out here of these homes. You're seeing them there right now. They're bringing someone out on a stretcher. Family members are keeping their distance as firefighters are trying to safely get that person out of the house.
It's on the ground. Yeah, it's on the ground. You can see it right in front of us. That's definitely on the ground, Jeff.
Thanks, Dan. Tell us where you are exactly, please.
We are on 281 just north of Chester, looking north right now. So, again, just north of Chester on 281.